Annette.
Hello, Chi.
Hi.
Good afternoon, She.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm on my way home from work. So I will be driving and listening.
Yes, thank you. Drive safe. Well, the words today is may your day have a spark to it.
May your day
And
have spark.
spark, yes, spark that is full of endurance,
Mm.
resilience,
Yes.
intentional willingness,
Wow.
expanding space.
I like that.
Sparked by anticipation.
Thank you.
The mixture of our words today, the paste to create our day, our focus, intention, our choices. May our hearts be lighter.
Mm. And open.
May our mind be clear.
Mm.
While we listen to our body.
I was just thinking our bodies are like a switchboard between our thoughts and the dimensions that we live in. Our thoughts and feelings. The more intention and willingness and anticipation that we have, the more the body can repair itself to receive. And the more clear we are about it also. Clarity is such a gift. And the body just becomes this big switchboard. And imagination is a big part of that. For me, imagination is like the field of plenty. It's the expansion. And how all of that fortifies the heart.
Yeah, I've always thought of our bodies as a giant receptor,
Mm-hmm.
receiving, sensing, and then our mind interprets, makes up.
Mm-hmm.
Allison, can I make you host for for a few moments?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just to allow people in that come in. Thank you. I'll be listening, and I'll be back. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jace. as Desi was talking, I had this visual of the field or the universe in as limited a way as I can imagine it. And then within that, this vortex of energy. And at the end of that vortex is our own electromagnetic field that the body exists in. And the heart has the biggest of any part of our body. It has the widest reach. So the part of the body that experiences and feels that energy from the vortex is the heart. And then we have the thoughts. And then I had this image then of another vortex developing from the ground upwards from our hands. Our hands are part of the manifestation.
It's interesting that you mentioned that the hands are part of the manifestation. Because sometimes you can feel the tingling in your hands, and it's this energy, and when you bring it together, it's almost like creating an energy ball.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But so my question is, if the heart has all this energy and you can feel it, why is it sometimes you can't feel your heart? Why is it sometimes it feels like an empty space?
What immediately came to me, Annette, was that so there were two things. The one is ebb and flow of energy, but the second one was expansion.
What came to me is not being able to feel that in your heart leaves an open space for something to show up that you really want, that you haven't manifested yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds really good. It's just a void, but a safe void then, is it?
Mm. Mm.
Because you feel no pain, you feel no joy, and it's just
It's that
very.
pause, right?
Mm.
Sorry, Annette.
No, that's good. That when you said that's a pause, that makes more sense.
Mm. Afternoon, Ian. Wonderful to have you with us.
Morning, afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
So our words today, Ian, were endurance, resilience, intentional willingness, expanding space, and exciting anticipation. And then we were talking about how the body is a receptor of information. And because the heart has got the biggest electromagnetic field of any part of the body, it's bigger than the brain. What we receive goes to the heart first. And then our thoughts help us to interpret that. And then I listened to a talk the other day where the metaphor was that the thoughts and doing that we engage in as human beings need the heart as a bridge to ensure that what we create is creatively filled with loving kindness, I would say. And just before you came in, Annette was wondering about how she at times will feel almost like there's a nothingness in the heart space. And Mona said for her that was space, more space for expansion. And I likened it to the pause that we are often in before we create something. And then we were also talking about how the energy of our hands, how palpable that is. And the link between that and the heart.
Thank you for the run through. It's appreciated.
And you're welcome.
My word for the day is release. I've had a lot of ancestral stuff coming up the past 2 months. I'd say about 3 weeks, a month ago, I've never experienced this before, but I was feeling a resistance to the word German. I was on Monet at Mind, and there was a lady from Germany, and she said she was from Germany, and I felt this resistance and towards the word German, and I was like, where's this coming from? Because I've got no prejudice to anyone. To anyone from Germany, anyone from any country, I've got no prejudice. So I was like, where's this coming from? Where's this feeling of resistance coming from? So I went into Chris's Integrate Your Shadow meditation. and there's another one, super conscious teacher. And I
Mm.
connected, and then I remembered that my dad, on my dad's side, my nan's Jewish, my dad's half Jewish, and I'm quarter Jewish. And I got the download about concentration camps, and about it just come up to be releasing me. So yeah, don't want to go too deep into it, but yeah, I've just been doing a lot of ancestral releasing, and a lot of stuff's been coming up. But it's gone now, and I felt a massive release. Like I feel a lot lighter.
Thank you for sharing that, Ian. That's amazing. Morning, Craig.
Good morning, Greg.
So what came to me with your experience, Ian, was that through that journey there was again a bit of an open space. There was expansion. Recognition of the resistance and understanding and compassion with it. And then this beautiful open space.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere, the resistance, and I was getting that it's at a cellular level. So I had like 3 days of feeling, and I'm feeling better now. So I feel like I've released it. I feel like there was something in my DNA at a cellular level, that needed to come up.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Mm. Craig, just so that you know, the words for the day are in the chat. So when I think of Mona's word of excitement, because she had two, it was excitement and anticipation. And I was thinking of Ian Share, and then thinking of how when we do this work, we don't just do it for ourselves. We don't just remove the resistance in our own electromagnetic field, because ours resonates with the larger. And so that resonance goes from one plane of existence to the next. And when I think of that, then I begin to feel a little bit of the magnitude of all of that. And for me, that is really exciting and meaningful and impactful. Good evening, Ellie. Let's see.
She just disappeared. She should be back, I think. I bet that's her.
Are you back, Ellie?
Hello.
Good
evening.
evening.
I was in and then I was out.
Yeah.
Literally. Hi, everyone.
Good evening. I'll
Good morning,
repost
Hi,
Ellie.
Ali. Oh, just like that, Alison, and what I said, because I got the download because I'm the first family member that's been doing this work, the first generation. That I feel like my ancestors are all in the line, and stuff's been coming to me for me to clear, but on both sides. I just feel like they're all in a line, like me next, and I've just been feeling it all. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Ian. Thank
Love
you for
that.
that.
I love, yeah.
And so we come here every morning and sculpt a little bit more.
It was just completely random because I've never felt that resistance before. The German people never, and it just suddenly came out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the hell? Where's this coming from?" And I connected, and I got the download.
So simple to connect, right? You just have to embrace intentional willingness. And I say that to remind myself. I forget that way too often.
Well, I'm going to ask my dad about it when I speak to him because my nan and granddad, my dad's mum and dad died before I was born, so I never knew them. But I know my nan, my dad's mum was Jewish and my granddad was Danish heritage. So I'm going to ask my dad about that because I don't know. But yeah, let's see what he says.
And it will be good for him to be able to speak about it too, hey, Ian?
I'm just hoping now because I got a download as well that my dad started drinking because of the suppressed trauma, and now that I've released it, that he may start drinking less. So hopefully.
That would be amazing if it did have that impact. Eh? It's, and as you were, when you spoke about realizing the heritage, I thought of your dad's drinking.
Yeah, I got the suppressed trauma and he couldn't release it, so he started drinking it. So I saw your DNA about Jewish and concentration camps. That's what I was getting.
Heinz, with your word, endurance, I was thinking about positive, neutral, and negative. And because I was thinking, so what is it that I had with resilience, and what is it that there is with endurance? And for me, they're quite similar, and they go through all three. They go from negative to neutral, and then there's a bit of a positive. With resilience, we always think of resilience as a bouncing back, right? And with endurance, I think in those times, there's a heavy force that presses upon us. And then we manage to wiggle our ways through that to the neutral. And if we get enough rest in the neutral, then we begin to feel the positive again. And then we circle back again because the force is so great. And especially, I think, at that junction of life and death, right? There's the dying of the body and the expansion of the spirit. And the collaboration that can happen between the two. And then with Ian's word of relief, when that cycle is completed,
I've really been feeling it since doing this work, like since doing this releasing, like I feel lighter colours look brighter, and like when I go out and I see people just look more beautiful. Like I can see the beauty in everyone.
boy,
And
that's
colours just look so bright, like yeah. And I just feel like I'm floating most of the time. Like a weight's been lifted. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That set a few shivers down my body. Don't know about anybody else.
And it appears the benefit of releasing those negative charges, releasing those layers. And it's like opens the heart more.
Yeah.
Expanding our senses. Expanding our creativity, sparking the imagination, the vividness. Because it's like we see life differently. We see it in a positive, enlightened, anticipating more of beauty, wonder, curiosity. It's like that's the lens we begin to put on again and see life through that.
Mm.
And it's for moments. Because another lesson, another void, another hurt, another situation will confront us. Bring up something from the past again. And we're on a higher level to deal with it than we were in before. It seems as if we will always isolate. It's just whether we're oscillate. We're always oscillating between positive, neutral, negative, negative, neutral, positive, positive, neutral, negative, negative, neutral, positive. Just appears whether the trend, we're learning, we're curious, we're expanding. That's a trend that is going up, how I see it in my mind. Or staying the same, running the same oscillations, viewing it the same way, stuck, attached to the way that it's been, not allowing it, not releasing it, not engaging with it, not being willing to look at it, not avoiding it. All of those keep us on a flat trajectory or a declining one.
Mm.
What I've been learning is like, I didn't realize how much of my stuff was ancestral. And what I've been learning is that it just wants to be acknowledged. Like when I learned about the Jewish thing and about the concentration camps, I cried for like an hour and then I felt the pain and then I just felt the release. It just wants to be acknowledged and seen
Yeah,
and recognized. And then it's gone then.
that is what we are avoiding.
Mm.
That's what we're scared of, right? And it's like, no, it just wants to be acknowledged, to be felt, to be released. And it's different for every one of them and every one of us. Like each one of those, their releases are different, but the same. They're just acknowledge and let them go however they need to go. Hmm.
So simple.
But then saying, you do need to be in this work because if I wasn't in this work and doing magnetic mind, I would have never have known it was ancestral, so I wouldn't have been able to release it.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, we all have ancestors that suffered and passed on.
Mm.
And it's like there's a willingness to see it, to understand it, so that then you can identify and release it. And it's not linear. It's not chapters in the book. I mean, it is a spaghetti nest. It's a clusterfuck. But it's like you grab a noodle and you're able to go so far until it attaches to another noodle, and it's like, oh, that's as far as you can reach in that spaghetti pot. Crazy stuff comes out. It's like, oh, who would have thought that, right? And who cares if it's real or not? It's the something from nothing. And it makes you feel better, huh, Ian?
Feel a lot lighter. I've just basically said that I'm willing to release whatever as long as it comes in the most gentlest way for me to process.
Great.
But I know that it's real because I feel the difference. Like since I've been released now, I feel a lot lighter. Like it's like bags have been taken off my back. Like a hot air balloon. I feel a lot lighter.
Thank you for that beautiful intention, Ian.
Nice to come here and talk about it because I wouldn't say to anyone else about this stuff. So yeah, it's nice to be able to come here and talk about it. So thank you.
Yeah, it really, if you haven't done the work, you don't know about it, and you would hear that conversation as crazy. Just crazy, or that in that perspective, there's no willingness. It's a willingness is such a part of awareness. And we have to let go of our own, like our own life, our own time here, our own years. Like we have to go through our woundings, our struggles. And when we go through them, eventually we see, oh, those are just ancestral patterns that we have uniquely attached to, adapted to our time, to our life. But you got to go through, you got to be willing to go through that uncomfortableness, that confronting the pain again, because I spent my whole life avoiding it, not wanting to engage with it, thinking just I could leave it behind. But no, I really had to unpack it, pull it back out, look at it, examine it, and let it go.
It's almost like when we do that, it's like giving it a place.
Yeah, storing it properly rather than wadding it up and keep pushing it away into the corner. It's like dirty clothes. It's not like you throw them and hide them in the corner and get rid of it, Go do a good workout and then stuff those clothes into the corner of your closet. Eventually they'll come back out.
Yeah, I found one other thing too, is that some of those feelings need to be felt completely before you could actually let them go.
Maybe you didn't hear it, Craig. I don't know, but that's what Ian was saying.
Yeah.
sit with those experiences.
And sometimes it's just oh, there it is. All right. I can let that go. Great. There, poof. Like I named it and it's gone. And sometimes you name it and got to sit in it for weeks and months and wrestle with it. And it's like every one of them is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like on my mum's side, I've been feeling a lot of stuff about appearance coming up. And I've been getting that it's from my mum's side, my mum's line about physical appearance. And since I've been doing the work, I've noticed that when I go out, I'm seeing more beauty in people. I'm seeing more beauty. Like when I see someone, it's like I can see more beauty in them because I've been releasing the stuff around physical appearance. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like everyone I see, I can see the beauty in them, and it's just like the weight's gone. But I've been getting it as generational from my mum's lineage.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've really been feeling it. Like, yeah.
And the more what I hear in that, Ian, is like the more you're practicing with it, you see where they're the source of them. And it's like it just makes it easier to identify, like, oh, there's that. And so then we can begin to look at it like what is there. And that's how we go deeper. It's one of them is like I notice, I know my patterns. It's like my patterns are not good enough. Yeah. And so there's frustration and anger. So it's like, oh, I can connect when I feel frustration and anger, or I notice I'm giving power away. It's like, oh, I can look at it that like, why am I not good enough? Like what is there? We all have our categories. And then we begin to feel it's like, oh, is that it? Nope. Okay, then so I get to look at something else. It's just like, wow, so much fun. It's like a big puzzle. I like puzzles. So. May not be a big puzzle for you. You may not like that, but uniquely that works for me. Treasure hunt.
Yes.
Everyone likes a treasure hunt.
Mm-hmm. With a puzzle, I was just thinking that it's important to have space to unpack it before you connect it. Right? You're putting all the pieces out. And you go and look for the corner pieces first. That's how I do them. Those are your foundational pieces.
Yeah, and we all have like our foundations. We've all had histories that have been passed along of how to survive. In like hurtful, painful, negative, tough, horrible situations, like where we like mentally, like physically, emotionally had to endure, be resilient. Like those lessons, right, are passed on. That's that trapped energy.
Well, the message I got is by doing this work, I'm killing two birds with one stone, so to say, because by clearing the ancestral stuff, I'm actually clearing my karma as well, past life karma. So I'm doing both at the same time. That's the message I got. Because I'm not able to go back to I know it's all happening now. There's no just thing at time, but I'm not able to actually go back to a life and change it like the negative energy I put out there. So by doing the family stuff, the lineage, I am actually clearing it. So I'm doing both. That's that's the message I got.
Mm.
Yeah. I've seen that too. It's like not only for me, but for them. It's our way of helping them let it go and eliminating it from our future line.
Mm.
It's like stopping that part of it that's may not serve us. And I think it helps the ancestors as well, like those that are behind us that have it all, is like they now understand, and it's like they're like with us in that release, because I think they help us in that release.
I do too.
I think
So do you
that is
think
what the
because
urge is. Yeah. Sorry, Ian, go ahead.
because there's no such thing as time at all happening now, so by me clearing the stuff, do you think it's actually helping them when they were alive? Because there's no such thing as time, is there? So if I'm clearing the stuff for them, is it actually helping them when they're in their bodies? Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's what comes to me. Like the
As
pain
you
they
s-
were not able to feel, it's coming to me, and because there's no such thing as time at all happening now, it's clearing the pain out of them when they're alive, and they're able to heal more in that lifetime, the lifetime where they're alive, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah.
And I like to think that it impacts on future incarnations for them as well. Eh?
Mm.
You know, as Jesse said, it clears for future generations.
And that's it's like I don't think that energy can be constrained in time.
Yes.
So I think that's how I mean, if you will, the travel happens is through the
Yeah.
energy, which is the emotions, which is the feelings. So in that, Ian, it would go real deep. Yeah, it's like that is how it would make sense as everything in the moment of now.
Mm.
And I think that's how energy travels between us. Like when we gather and work it and share it together, it's like when energies come together, like when you met the German lady, it's like the energies came together in that present moment.
Yeah, because I've never felt that before around
Yeah.
the word German, never, like, just all of a sudden came to me.
Yeah, right. Right in the present moment. Why that? That's something from nowhere, isn't it? And if you weren't aware, you wouldn't pay any attention to it.
Mm.
Because you have no history to it, right? You said before. And so we tend to avoid it, like run away from it. Not want to engage with it. I lost my headset. Battery died.
We still heard you.
And what I've been learning, I need to feel it, not recode it, because at first I was just like, when I first started recoding it, but now it's like, no, I just got to feel it. And it's been working a lot better.
Yeah, oh, isn't it though? Isn't it so much better? It's like, yeah, it's good for the
Yeah.
first little while, but man, then it's like, oh, it's like a whole nother level. Yeah, man, good for you. All right, I need to move on, but I'll keep it open. I'm
I'm complete for this morning. I'm going to need to go as well.
Thanks, Allison.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Much love, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Love and hugs.
Thanks,
See ya.
thanks
Bye.
all.
Hugs.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Mona. Have a great day.